Hello everyone, it is FIFA Expert and we're back with another episode of the Napoli Career Mode. In today's episode we're going to be playing two very important matches. The first one will be against Inter Milan. It's going to be something of a title decider very early on in the season. And our second game is going to be against Leicester City to basically decide whether or not we're moving into the round of 16 or preliminary rounds of the Europa League. Before we do get started on the important things of the episode, I do request that you do join the Discord server that I may link down below if you really want to. It's just a place for us to chill and a place for you guys to, help me out with some projects I'm making. For example, rebuilds, you guys could give me tips and players to sign for rebuilds. But yeah, you can join the Discord server if you want. It'll be linked down below, but for now, let's head back into the video and let's commentate and talk about how important the match against Inter Milan is. The reason why I say this could be a title decider is because if Inter Milan wins, they're just going to be 10 points ahead of us because they are undefeated in the league. So we just have to make sure that we don't lose. We just gotta make sure that they drop points. A win would be great, but a draw is still good because they're dropping points. And the gap doesn't really get bigger between us and them. We are on the attack here. We do try to break past Inter Milan's defense, but we're being showed that early on their defense is going to be a tough nut to crack. A bit of one-touch football from Inter Milan does see them get an amazing goal. Lautaro was able to give it to Edin Dzeko. None of our defenders saw that coming. I don't think anyone in the ground saw such amazing play coming. And just like that, we're just down 1-0. Inter Milan would be on an attack once more in the 18th minute. Dzeko gave a good pass to Perisic, but he couldn't quite control it. Lozano was able to do a bit of trickery on the right wing. He's able to get away from his marker. Gives it to Oshimhen for a good old cutback. Just barely gets it into the Inter Milan net, but as long as it's in there, we ain't complaining. He's able to get it in there and he continues his goal scoring form. And I think Lozano might be continuing his assisting form as well with that pass. He's just been getting a lot of assists in this little series here. We are on the attack once more. This time Insigne is able to get past Dumfries with a bit of trickery. He can't quite get past Milan Skriniar though, so he does try to cut inside to take a shot on his right foot, but it's very poor. Inter Milan would get the goal kick. That was a poor shot from Insigne, I'm not gonna lie. He's been having quite episode nowadays. Inter Milan do get on the attack once more, but Di Lorenzo is able to get this one dealt with. He couldn't quite prevent the corner though, but it doesn't matter too much as we are able to deal with the corner. And unfortunately it does go out for an Inter Milan throw in, but we are able to deal with the throw in as well. Just a bit nice and a bit easy for us. Good play from Insigne with the run and good play from Oshimhen with the pass. Is able to give us a dangerous entry into the box, but unfortunately no shot could be generated. No proper shot could be generated. Perisic is able to run through, tries to cut it back into, I think that was Lautaro Martinez or Dzeko, but Lafont is able to grasp it and we are able to go on one more attack before the end of the half. Oshimhen tried to test out Skriniar's pace there, but Skriniar made sure that he didn't really, embarrass him, if we could call it that. We do head into halftime. Oshimhen, a man on form on Napoli's team. Dzeko, a man on form on Inter Milan's team. The half does start off with Inter Milan getting an attack and a corner. We are being very good with dealing with corners in this one. We do deal with another one really well. Dumfries is able to get to the ball before Lozano though, which means their attack does continue. Anguissa is able to put in a strong tackle, but it just still comes back to Inter Milan, which means their attack does still carry on. Perisic with a good cross to Lautaro. The header was not bad, but Lafont is able to grasp it in his hands just to, relieve pressure and let us go on an attack ourselves. Lozano does get tripped up a bit, but the attack does carry on because, we don't really need a free kick, we need a goal. Anguissa is on the ball. He gives it to Zielinski. We're just trying to weigh up our options, trying to create something. We do try to make a slight little play here between Insigne and Oshimhen. It will start soon. It has started now. Insigne makes a run. Oshimhen gives him the pass, but Insigne he couldn't quite get the right touch to move past that gap. Perisic is on the ball once more, trying a bit of trickery, crosses it in, and Nicolo Barella somehow gets a free volley and he's able to punish us. I feel like this volley shouldn't have happened. I feel like Kalidou Koulibaly is definitely the one to blame here. Not that it is really his fault. It's not that like he's expected. Actually, he is expected to stop chances like that. He should have stopped that cross, and because he didn't stop it, we've conceded. Now we do move on. Politano, the freshman, gives it to Di Lorenzo to cross it in himself. Politano was in the middle, but couldn't quite be found because that's how good Inter Milan's defense is. But Di Lorenzo is able to put a bit of pressure on the defense, but couldn't quite do enough to give us a good goal there. Inter Milan were able to cut us open once more. Edin Dzeko with the finishing touch once again. I feel like that's going to be a problem against Inter Milan. Was their one-touch football out here today? But now there's not really much to play for. Lozano can try to go for a solo goal. He can try to do something special. But even if that goal went in, hope was kind of lost. The problem with us this game has just been lack of strong defense. We've just been making silly mistakes in the defense, leaving players open. And also just Inter Milan's one-touch football is just subliminal. We do try to make a few more opportunities because we aren't really those type of team that just lose hope. We were still attacking, trying to get at least one goal just to help out, even if it's not points, but at least with the goal difference, But we were only able to just score one goal against Inter in this game, and they scored 3 against us, and just like that, we lose to the champions and league leaders. Our objective has been failed. Our objective was to make sure that Inter Milan dropped points, but we couldn't achieve that objective. So now all we can do is move on to another competition. We just gotta forget about Serie A for a bit and focus up on another important game, which is going to be against Leicester City in the Europa League. It is another one of the must-win games. I really do not want to draw. I don't want to give this group life. If we do beat Leicester, then we are going to be able to jump up into second. Not jump up, but secure our position in the knockouts. And who knows, if we win and we win our next game as well, we could even finish first place in the group. But we're not going to focus on first place. We're just going to focus on getting the win here in Leicester. A player debut to focus on is going to be Elmas. I am using him for the first time in this series. Just want to see what he's all about and also rest Zielinski before the Lazio game. Leicester City would find themselves on the attack first. Madison just tried to put it in. A bit of awkward bounces in the box with the ball, but Lafont is able to grab it and just stop the craziness in the box. We do find ourselves on an attack ourselves. Some good piece of build-up play. Sees Maxime Lopez hit the crossbar with a wonderful shot. Comment on the pass from Elmas. I should say that was a good pass from Elmas. A great shot from Lopez. Just unfortunate that it hits the crossbar. Jamie Vardy tries a bit of a spectacular effort, but it doesn't end up doing much. Lozano does try to find Oshimhen in our next attack, but he just can't quite do it. Leicester City does find themselves on the attack once more. Lookman somehow find himself wide open in space, but he couldn't quite get the finish. Leicester City did get the ball back with some good pressure, but we were able to deal with that attack nice and easily. Lozano does make a great run and Lopez is able to send him away. Lozano will try to cut it back to Oshimhen. This play worked, the first half worked, but the finishing touch wasn't there. And Insigne now the man to try to just open up the Leicester defense, trying to scan, we're still just trying to pass it around here, trying to find a few opportunities. Di Lorenzo is found, gives a nice cut back to Insigne, but he does get stonewalled by the Leicester City defenders. we are able to deal with one more attack before halftime. I honestly feel like in this half, both teams just wasted lots of opportunities. So when you really think about it, us not conceding is actually kind of a good thing. But it just means in the second half we have to tighten up on defense and just gotta make sure that we're more clinical on offense. And Insigne does send away Almas to put him into the box, but Leicester City's defender does give him a fair slide tackle to just, end that attack. But Maxime Lopez does give Almas a second opportunity, and this time Almas makes sure that he's able to cut it back to Oshimhen. And finally, the deadlock has been broken in the hour mark. With us being the ones to take the lead, I definitely feel confident that we're gonna be winning this one. Like, there's just no other way, there's just no other outcome, because now we're the ones on form, we're the ones with the momentum. I did make the change of putting Almas off for Zielinski, not because he had bad form, but because I wanted Zielinski to come on to do stuff like he just did just now. Like, oh my goodness, what a pass. But I do think, back on the Almas situation, I do think that we will be putting him in future matches, even if it's not going to be against Lazio, but he will be featuring more in the series. Zielinski, however, is putting in another great pass for Lozano. Lozano crosses it in for Oshimhen, but he couldn't finish off the header. After that opportunity, because we were a bit comfortable, I decided to put on Coppola and put on Politano and take off Insigne and Oshimhen, just for, gameplay and all of that, just to rotate the squad a bit. There was a bit of an awkward defensive moment in the 80th minute, which did lead to Leicester scoring one goal just to cut the deficit in half. But we had to make sure that any and all hope in the King Power or Leicester City Stadium was stifled. Great pass from Lopez, great shot from Lozano, and the rest is history. Just like that, we are going to be walking away from Leicester City with 3 points in the bag. We are definitely going to be qualifying for the next round in the Europa League. Whether it's preliminary rounds or round of 16, well, that will be decided on the final day. But for now, we're just going to be very happy. We're going to be celebrating this win, a huge win for our Europa League season, and a good way to compensate for us failing our objective in the Inter Milan game by just putting in a great performance against Leicester City and making sure we walk away with 3 points. 2 of our strikers have been sold. Mertens and Kuchka, I think it was, were both sold to their respective teams, which means that the search for a new striker cannot be more important, can't be much more of a top priority. But however, this is where the episode ends. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please do leave a like, please do subscribe, but of course, no one's forcing you to do any of those things. I will just have to catch you guys in the next episode. If you do neither of subscribing or liking, then just watch another video. I'll see you guys later.